beautiful souls. I love you so much. I just wanted to have a really quick video out right now and talk about my perception of paradise. I was actually just thinking how great God is and how wonderful He is and His whole creation and the system of how He built it. He built it with intentional side effects for everything. And then I was thinking, well, everything has to do with everything that happened in the beginning. What happened in the beginning? It's like, but I was like, there was paradise at the beginning. Then I was like, well, if I had to start kind of from the bottom, so I kind of want to have this conversation about paradise and what does that look like? What does that feel like? And so I was just thinking, like, my perception. This is my perception. There are so many rabbit holes as I was thinking about this that we could go down, and I just wanted to give a perception of mine. Obviously, you know, it's just a perception of how I decided to look at things. So I want to say, first and foremost, God is good, and all the time is our creators, who I'm referring to, who created us and created all of this, right? So if that is the case, then we are automatically to assume that He knows, he, she know, names on it. Honestly, there's millions of names, right? And we should, with all names aside, our creator has created everything. So in essence, the grand design and the scheme of everything has already been thought about and is intricately put together for everything, for our good. And so there are the answers, and then there are headaches, right? Things that we just go round and round with that never work. That's insanity. So almost like the cure to insanity is the truth, which is just, fearless love, fearless faith, unconditional love and non-resistance throughout life. Okay, of course, fearless faith, just have faith in God, and then unconditional love for everything, which is the only way, right, to do anything, because it's just so sweet. It's so sweet. And the non-resistance, I look at the non-resistance part as, if someone is upset or, just kind of go with the flow of life, we can offer them prosperity, blessings, and healing by letting them know how wonderful they are. Maybe they forgot. And we know that we forget sometimes, so we know that maybe they forgot. So let's offer them some greatness, remind them of how special and unique they are. People are so wonderful. But so back to my thought about prosperity or paradise, right? So I was just thinking that, okay, if our children, say our children are just raised in paradise all their lives, all they know is paradise. That's it. That's all they know is paradise. They don't know anything else. It's just paradise. Everything is paradise. Think about that for a moment. If God, in the beginning of time, everything's perfect, He created everything, everything's perfect, everything's going well. I got Adam and Eve, they're chilling. All the animals are chilling. Everything is chilling. And now I want to assume that we are what He created. And at that time, He created us with free will still. Now, I want to ask you guys something. Have you ever gotten to a situation where you're just bored? You're like, oh man, what do I do now? What do I do? Where do I go from here? Or this is so calming and this is great, but what else can we do? We've done this, what else can we do, right? In a relationship where, regardless of what it is, person, place, or thing, a relationship where you can do more, right? So, or you think you can, right? You're like, let's do more. I know that I've been in a relationship where I was like, oh man, I wanted to work, I didn't want to really just, because I had that, I could be an at-home mom, I could work, but when I tried that at home momness and of course, just do things you want to do, self-expression, stuff like that. Sometimes when people are not thinking in that manner, they're just like, well, what else can I do to spruce up what's happening? For some reason, we want that more, right? So I was thinking, okay, well, beginning of time, God knows us. Maybe he thought, hey, Adam and Eve look really bored over there. Maybe he thought Adam and Eve look bored. So my creation looks a little bored over there. Let me spruce it up a bit. So I feel like he was like, yeah, hey, he knows, okay, that this is how I'm thinking. He knows this, okay? We can have gone two ways. There's a tree over here you cannot eat because you're going to die if you eat it. Like that was, now those words, right? I respect manuscript. I was told by, my father, don't believe everything you read here, but there's some truth, right? And I know everybody did their best. And I know that words, okay, they can be powerful. So we honestly don't know what was actually said. No one does. So we can assume, though, that it went something like, okay, hey, there's this choice. I said, God, okay, there's this choice. Okay. And then if something came and said something different, regardless if that was a serpent or whatever, if it came and said something different, and we didn't do what God said, that was a choice to do what God said to do or not. So we made that choice. And for some reason, we made that choice, right? And so God must have known you will make a choice either to stay in paradise or to do the opposite of what I said. So for some reason, we thought to ourselves, maybe there's more than paradise. Right? Some reason we thought to ourselves, maybe there's something else than paradise. So we decided, regardless of who did it first, people are making decisions for themselves. So that's part of taking responsibility for ourselves, right? We decided, we made a choice to ourselves. We said, hey, I'm going to go ahead and just add more to my life, whether that's eating a fruit or whatever it was, right? I'm going to go ahead and do this. And then I'm going to offer this to somebody else. Do you want to add more to your life? And they made the decision to add more because they obviously thought it was a good idea. Okay. So I'm thinking that because our God knows everything and he knows, he's watched us. Maybe he said, hey, my perception, hey, they're kind of bored, so we're going to spruce it up a bit. Okay. We're going to see if they go this way, then there are some intentional consequences to going this way. You will have more knowledge, but you will need to still understand that it's still only me and my power. You will need to go through that test again, or, hey, it's me. You should have chose me. You should have chose, paradise. I gave you the choice. I want you to choose me. You know what I mean? I gave you a choice. Choose me because it's easier. But if we wanted to see if there's more, he was going to let us because he's good and he loves us, okay? So he's going to let us, okay? So we do. We go through these adventures called life. This adventure is called life. We didn't know what we had until we didn't have it, right? I feel like that we needed to remember who we are through this adventure so that we can be grateful for what we have. Once we know what the truth is, we've gone around, we know, okay, this isn't the answer, this isn't the answer, this isn't the answer. Because those are headaches, it keeps going around in circles. But this is the answer, it's the truth. It's amazing. So it's like paradise. Do you choose paradise? Do we intentionally want to make sure that we're focusing on our immortality versus our mortality? I also wanted to look at it like the circle of security. So I did write down some notes about the circle of security. But before I go there, I did want, so, there's something about, hey, when you connect with more than one person, then it is so, when one person believes in you, it's more powerful. But the circle of security, right? So the circle of security states, so you, right? We could look at this in a couple of different ways. We can look at it like it's us. We can look at it like it's God and others, right? Or creator and others. So the circle of security is like, okay, you're on, you're here, okay? And then whomever is in your care, whoever is, and I think we should do this towards each other. And I'll do this in the form of how the creator is looking at us. We'll use the creator, okay? And he's saying, well, we're out saying, I need you to support my exploration, to support us as we're going through life, right? To watch over me, to delight in me, help me, enjoy with me, okay? And that is exactly what he's doing, right? And then as we wind down, going back to him, I need you to welcome me back, coming back to you, and then when we get back to him, protect me, comfort me, delight in me, and then help me organize my feelings. Help me understand what I just went through and what happened. What does that mean? What I just went through. I've got all these things that I'm, going on in my head. How do I filter that out? These skills that I've learned, what are they? And that is exactly what we're doing when we're going through life. And it's that circle of security that is there. And we can do that for ourselves, to be able to do that for others. And I think it's wonderful. So again, taking responsibility for us, making that choice to choose life. We still have that choice to make. Are we choosing life? We're choosing one power, or are we choosing the lie? It's just not the answer. And it is there for a reason. It is there to help with balance. To give us growth, right? To allow us to understand more why. Because I know I was a kid, and then they're like, don't run across the street. And we're like, why can't I run across the street? And like, cause I said so. It's like, I always was that person who asked why, even though they're like, because I said so. That wasn't enough for me. Like, what do you mean because you said so? I want to know why. What do you mean? If I start walking across the street, what's gonna happen to me? You know what I mean? And then now, if someone were to say, "Hey, Danielle, if you walk across that street without looking left and right, you could get hit by a car. So when you cross that street, or if you decide to cross that street, you need to look left and right so you're not hit by a car." Oh, okay. That's why I shouldn't just run across the street without, okay. It's almost like we need more. It's like God knows that we get bored. He knows our bodies. Now, on the other side of that, so our brains, right? Thought this was really interesting information, that our brains start to stop noticing things that happen to us on a consistent basis. So, for instance, our breathing or our heartbeat, we don't notice that until we actually start to hone in on it because it happens so consistently. Or smelling the inside of our nose. I got that from somewhere, but anyway. So, in essence, when we have things that are happening all the time, we stop to notice. We don't notice it as much. So it's so good to, spruce up your relationships. Make sure that you guys are doing something different and having date nights and, keeping that spark up, having your adventures, finding out why you are in love with each other all over again and doing that. And it's amazing. Keep up that good work, understanding why you fulfill each other and you love each other and you admire each other and you respect each other, right? All those great things. So just making sure that we're not becoming complacent or that we are not bored. And that's part of it, right? Living our lives fearless, having fearless faith and having our vision going forward with that, because that helps us stay, out of being stagnant. We're just like, oh, I have this that I'm doing. I'm creating this because we're going to create and we're going to enjoy the journey. Okay. So that's that is fearless faith, right? Fearless faith. Let's get that right. That is non-resistance of what's happening because it's happening for our growth. It's happening for us to heal someone else. It's happening for a reason. So let's figure out what that reason is and let's stay in alignment with the one power, the one truth. Anything else is a headache. And unconditional love for your, health, wealth, happiness. It's so wonderful to know the truth and to feel that. Trust fully in the one power, and that's God. He wants us to trust Him fully. If Adam and Eve just trusted Him fully, they would have been eating that life tree. But then, at the same time, it was supposed to happen. You want to know why we know it was supposed to happen? Because it happened. That's how we know how great God is. He knows what to do with us. He loves us. He created us. It's amazing. We still have that choice. And He honors that He loves us. Okay. So, the way back to paradise is to know there's only one power and trust Him fully. We didn't know what it was going to do to us eating that. We didn't know. Curiosity got us in it. Curiosity needs to get us out. We need to be curious enough to know, to have faith that He's got us while we are taking this journey of fearless faith, unconditional love, and non-resistance. I love it. Thank you guys so much for listening to me ramble today about my perspective of paradise and why it's so important for us, for change to happen. And it's for our personal growth. It's amazing. And I love you guys so much. Blessings, prosperity, and healing on your lives. Abundance. And it's all about perspective. What's your perspective? I love you. Mwah. Have a great rest of your day, weekend. Okay, bye. Till next time.